I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is June 2nd, Monday, 2025. Hope you had a good weekend and a good day today. So, if you have been watching the previous videos, so we targeted this level beautifully, yes, on Friday, what was that? Thursday? No, Friday. I'm sorry. So Friday came down in. If you take a look, you'll see that you'll have this 4-hour imbalance right there, which is right here. I'm pointing at it right here. See that? I already deleted it, but we tagged that. That's also a daily imbalance sitting there, and 50% is getting tagged right there on that level. And also, if you did it from the hour, you'll see that the top quadrant is what's getting what's important, the top 50% of this right here. So, but when we projected it coming down here, you got to control price, and it slithers down and it comes back, right? Just a retracement. But we ended up getting a huge move on Friday in the second part of the day. So as you can see here, we push all the way back up and we take out that swing high here. So that lower low makes that lower high, and that lower high makes that lower low, right? So another lower high to lower low, and we break above. This one is considered good too to be a break, but we break that too. So then we gap down in the Sunday night, right? We gap down and they're retracing back for all the buyers here. And that could be a shift. Now, the thing is, when it if it didn't push up this high and take that out, the conversation would have been different, but it already did that. So that's clue one. Clue two, it retraces back, and there's not a lot of shit on my chart. So if you take a look, there's this is an old week gap we've been still dealing with. We have the bullish imbalance here. We also have a bullish imbalance there. So there's one right there, the blue one, and then there's one right there. It's the only ones we're talking about in blue. So then the next, obviously, we have the current week gap, this current week gap. Then we also have not last week's gap. Last week's gap is here. The previous week before that, which is here, this is going to be May 18th right here. That's also there. So yes, it's a lot on it, but you'll see how it's not hard to see. So yeah, sorry, I'm over here. Super fire. This is gonna be a fire video, fire day in a sense, but again, high, new or high, high or low. So that gap, look at the 50% coming down to it. You can see the bullish imbalance here, top quadrant. Okay, very key in this conversation. And then you see this push down with that big 15-minute candle. We break above that. So we broke above here. We're down here. X marks the spot, right? It's bullish still in a sense because it's really higher low. That's a higher high. That's a retracement. We have to remember that we're still bullish in this sense, right? Forget about down here because we would have been more down here if we were coming down here. But okay, no problem. So we get a shift here, nice shift. Now we're in this bullish imbalance. Let me go to this chart here. You'll see here that I got it quadded. Very simple. You get the opening range gap. Yes, it's quadded and it's there. And it's damn near on top of the current week gap. And then I have this one highlight. That's that week gap from over here. Okay, I know it looks like a lot of shit, but the only reason why I'm making it like this is so you can see the algorithmic delivery. And all I look for is these key things. So as you see, you'll see that here before 9:30, we have already shifted above that high, which is the bottom of that bullish imbalance, right? So if I squinch it out, you'll see this area here. The structure is not complicating. I'm going to squinch it out on purpose just so I could make sure I did the structure. I'm going to do it from over here so you can see it. That's a shift, retrace back. Okay, let me do it this way so you can see the flow. All right. And then forget the internal shit. We break that right there. Okay, you can see it on the 1 minute. All right, and then you got your order flow right there. Shoot straight up. Okay, that's the new high to the left. Where's the higher low? Even if it's bullish or bearish, where is the retracement? all that is a higher low. And look how they come underneath that. And then it's a new, well, I'm all over the place, new high. Very, very key to understand this because of the fact that these decisions are based off of this narrative and this story. And yes, this is a balanced price range. Yes, it's a big wick on the weekly wick. Yes, we had control price and all this liquidity as you see lower highs. We made the decisions of selling on Friday based off of that. And it came up and it wiped them out and it stopped on Friday. We still got these guys down here, right? So, and we have the bearish weekly imbalance in pink. Yes, that's a daily that's hovering over it. No big deal. And then I'm going to get into this 4-hour imbalance right here that I triggered this sell from. But the point is that that's also there. Okay, so now notice that on the 4-hour, I'm going to zoom in. And look right there. See that? This is how I made that decision on the sell after 9:30. We're bumping into it. So I got it highlighted there. I'm going to, do I need to even push it out just so it looks, that's fine. I'll do that. So right there, when I have the structure here, I'm going to delete this now. Fire. Let me show you the trace too. Only because of the fact that you'll understand what I mean in a second. But now that I have this shift of structure here, let me go back into the 1 minute. Now you see, we come back in. You can see it more clear. You can see we're bouncing on the 25 of the gap. We come into the 50% of that bullish imbalance right there. Sweep those highs, another high. This is a retrace back, a couple drives back. Okay, cool. It's still inside the imbalance. Pushes up. We're dancing around the 50 as you see. Let me zoom in now a little bit more. Before 9:30 even happens, I understand that you also have a liquidity void of price action right there from the opening of the current week gap. That's also in the factor with making a new high, right? But here you'll see that we made equal lows here. See this between 9:05 and 9:24 or whatever. Then you also have this guy right here. See this guy, the 701 and 826, 25, 825, 26. You see that? So look how they're equal. Okay, so that narrative right there in this conversation is going to be very key. How? Okay, well, also it's after 7 o'clock. So that's the liquidity between 7 and 9:30. So algorithm is hunting that obviously. But what they did is while we're already pushing up for the new high, then the structure's already there. 9:30 just blows away, right? Very difficult to catch this. No big deal. You didn't have to because there's plenty of moves after that. Well, there's 2 moves after that. But so we push up. Look to the left of the chart. Oh, we're not at the daily high yet. Oh, there's the daily high. This candle, 938, pushes right through. What's this? That's that 4-hour imbalance. Originally, you see this here? So the 4-hour imbalance right there, we tag in it. Okay? Yes, that's the 25% of the weekly. But they're doing this to 2 things. One, to tag in for the liquidity to the left here, and which is that guy right there. Okay? Which is this all the way over here in the corner here, this 345 on Thursday. That lower high, okay? So they grab that because it's also the creation of that 4-hour imbalance. So what do? We already pushed up once. That's a new high. Okay, where's my move number 2? Move number 2 is selling. Move number 2, yes, it's overbought here. That's fine. Also, it's in the lower quadrant of that 4-hour imbalance. It's right there in pink, right? You can see it right here, right? I wish they would highlight it at the bottom. I don't know why they don't do that. But anyways, we're in the lower quadrant. That's 50% right there. And then that's the high of it. And then that's the weekly 25%. Okay. Boom. So this, understanding it's overextended here, I'm going to show you the trace specifically. Push up, stops, candle displaces, come down. I'm already understanding I'm tapping that 4-hour imbalance. That's why it's very important to know. When I'm selling this, I'm already instant in order flow. Okay, this stays empty. That's exactly what I want to see if I'm catching a top. First of all, because we want it to stay empty so it can take out the liquidity to the left of the chart, which is obviously in this case buying, and we want to see that empty. They make another imbalance right here. Perfect. So there's also an inversion here. I don't have it drawn. I don't need it. I'm looking at this bearish imbalance. You see we tag in, nobody's inside, flowing through, perfect. Even if I'm gonna sell this for a higher low, okay? Whereas, first of all, you got all this unfair push out momentum, okay? I was so sluggish and slow, I couldn't even get involved in this shit. So just blast it off. I said, dude, I'm all right. I had a long weekend. It was a fire party and all types of shit, but I ain't gonna get into that. But super lethargic, all right? But you see flow there. Okay, another one, flow right there. What are we doing? I know I had the first imbalance here. When I'm selling this from a higher high to a higher low, keeping it very simple here, what am I doing? Well, my minimum target is this first imbalance, because what if it bounced right off top of that shit? That's, okay, number one. Number two, that's also coupled. Look at the first imbalance. It's the exact same level as the 50% of this current week gap. Look at laying on each other. I understand we're coming right to there at the minimum. By the way, the opening range gap, when it opened, it's here. So you're obviously flowing with that. And yes, I could have bought that, but just couldn't participate. But why? Because I wanted to see what they do first. Why? Because equal lows right there. And where? Equal lows right there. I talked about this. Look how the candle here pops above, before 9:30, right here. Pops above this wick. And then you have this bearish wick. Boom. It opens up, pushes, and boom, comes right back to the 50 of this bullish imbalance. Okay, very, very key. That's how they got to the 930 and took off. Okay, but when I'm selling this, I'm like, okay, this is my main target as a minimum target. After that, what's that? It's a breakout level right here. As you see, we just fucking shot right through, right? Boom, I got it highlighted here. I mean, can't be more specific than that. And I made a mistake not a mistake, but I wanted to actually just project this candles only, not the wicks. The wicks showed this projection. I'll show you what it looks like if you just did the candles, the bodies, I mean. But here is my minimum target after this. So it comes in. We get these three candles. And you're like, well, why are you not buying this? Well, because in a leg like this to this, if you have experience in trading, you'll know that they'll always come in and try. This is a sell model, basically what I'm trying to say. It's a sell model with with a consolidation and a breakout, and then it's coming back underneath it to wipe out that liquidity. I didn't need my trade to get here. The only reason why I am holding it for this case, besides it being the liquidity, as far as in a range, they love to come back and get some higher lows. That's in that leg, which is from higher low to higher high, right? The 10 o'clock news was coming out. So because of the 10 o'clock news, I'm already in an expansion situation, but not meaning that it's going to keep coming down here, meaning that from where the price action is at 10 o'clock, it's going to expand to get these guys out. Look how beautiful I get them. So I'm already trailing. And now at this point, and you understand I have this projected, I have 2 to 2.5 right here. And I also have the liquidity that I'm showing you that I don't need it to get to. There's also a midnight level in the background right here. And then this is the top of that gap, of the gray gap. And this is the bottom of the blue imbalance. But what's over here? What's over here is that other daily imbalance that is in the upper quadrant, right? So the price all stayed in here. But when the price shooting down, well, obviously you can see it hitting the bottom of that, to the tick, the bottom of that blue imbalance, of the bullish imbalance. But this bigger one, the high of that candle, of that imbalance, is the same level as damn near as the bottom. So they came in and they sniped these guys right here that I was talking about. And again, 10 o'clock just shot through. So just a beautiful scenario. But because I was able to catch this, I can't catch that buy. I missed the buy. And I was upset about missing the buy, but I was actually very content at that moment. So I left things alone only because of the fact that, well, that midnight level is there. And did they want to dip in here? But it's not likely because this is like a floor right here, right? But beautiful execution and exiting. And then when I took the picture, squeezed it out, gone, done. But the key logic of the story is this here and these equal lows here, and we're tagging an algorithmic level. It's not like all this shit that's on here and it's confusing. It's not. It's very clear. I mean, I think I did a pretty good job of distinguishing what's what. But what you'll see here, after this sells down, okay, what's next? Well, I missed the buy, obviously. So the buy pushes up. You have this imbalance that gets created in this run. It does hold price. You are below the 50 in a discount of the actual bullish daily imbalance. I still don't really know what's going to happen here, but it did sweep and accomplish all what we talked about. Notice how that was the low. I can't make that up. All right, then I got this projected, by the way. And then you'll see here, so for this imbalance here, this entire bearish candle as an inversion, if you just highlight it like this, you'll see that we come above it and we come back in at 50%. That's the middle line right here, right? You would see that, not the red line, I'm just saying of this box. That would also is in the picture of that's a high, that's a higher low, that's a new high, okay? So you're not selling from here, all right? It becomes a stupid wick and it holds it, but algorithmically it came back up. Our intention is to do what now? Well, remember the structure. We made a new high. We sold off for the low. I would have normally got out like in this situation, but because I knew 10 o'clock and we bumped against this up, see these three candles? Obviously, you know that's a supply block right here. There's all three of them together. Open, boom, another up candle. The 10 o'clock happened to just gap and then just shoot down. I was like, beautiful. All right. But anyways, you get the higher highs and higher lows. Look in the background. You have the opening range gap, the 25% right there. So we come above, and we also have the current week gap. See how I have it highlighted right there in the in this little quad right here. So we're tagging the bottom of it and we're coming in it. And then here's the first imbalance. So we're pushing right through. Even it's an entry because of the fact that is a breakout level and they're not coming back here. Because guess what? I don't feel comfortable pushing buy when it's right here, right? So we get more information of saying, okay, well, I've already missed the buy. No problem. But I have this projected here. Here's 101.5. We get to 101.5. And before I even move forward with that, I feel like I'm missing some. When we had tagged up here, and I think I forgot to mention this in Friday's situation, but I have at this moment I have this down candle projected to go up. See, the 2 to 2.5 is here, right? But the goal was this 4-hour imbalance, because that's the agenda on their moves is to come and tap that for an imbalance plus the liquidity, but when you tighten it up to the bodies, which I didn't do here, so that's how I fucking make videos long. But this is a fire video, and I just love it. I already did it. So I put it to the bodies here, and you can see here that now 2 to 2.5 is right here. See that? So that's another reason. But I knew that. You don't see that in the screenshot. But that's what I'm pertaining into this 2 to 2.5. So that's the sell. So move 1, move down 2. So buy, sell, buy day, but it's dirty because they make it a speaker and they take out the liquidity to the bottom here. But that's fine. It's still a higher low though. Just take a look. It's very simple, but that's just the way they deliver it. And then from the higher low to the new higher high, you're getting this structure here. It was actually really simple, and I was surprised it was simple. But I am upset that I did not catch this buy. But no problem. Guess what? So this trade here, you see, we pop up. We come all the way up. We squeeze the sellers here. We come right back into the current week gap. What do we have here? We have the bottom of the whole weekly imbalance. Look at the level. It's right there in this 15-minute. See that 15-minute right there? You see that? And it's over here. I'm highlighting it right here. That's the bottom of that. We're coming into that. Notice how we have before we even get to here, when we sold down, we hit that to, let me go back to the trade. When I sold it, you'll see that this level right here, okay? Right here. See that? That's the weekly imbalance. See how we tag it right there first? Boom. We reject. We go through it. Then we come right back to the tick. Watch how this is important later. To the tick right there underneath it, which is coupled with that bearish imbalance. And I'm in the upper half of the first imbalance. Maybe I didn't even finish the sell conversation. I forgot to mention this. So we're bumping underneath that, right? And then, you know, with the 50 here. And anyways, but really to the tick, the weekly low right there, we tag it, and then there's no bodies inside here. Another beautiful thing. Same thing with here, same thing with here. Look at the details. Okay, so what to do is shoots down. I decide to keep holding. So with this candle, just saved my exiting because I was like, I'm gonna decide to come lower. So we get an imbalance here, this little one here, little one right here. See that? In between here. And now we're bumping underneath. We're bumping underneath the high of that bullish imbalance. And you can see it right there to the tick. And then we come underneath. And then let me move forward back. Back here. See this? The switch here? There it is right there. So then we come above it. This is the point of the conversation. We come above it, and this becomes a support block. All right, this is also an inversion, but this candle up here, this is a support block right here. We push through, and breakout traders are, you know, we don't trade breakout levels like that because that's, I mean, you have to, if you pushed buy right here, you set all this time to be in the same fucking spot. We're buying higher lows. We already know that the new high is going to be the leg. And we're going to do what? I got it very clear here that I'm highlighting the 25% of the bearish weekly. Very, very clear. I'm highlighting this. I don't need to be right to hit it. And this is how I maneuver all the way up. You'll see. Back to this. It's a breakout level. I don't push buy here. But if a candle comes back and tests it, that's where we buy, right? That's a logic. And you can see that that's that little switch I talked about, the bottom. See that level right here? I'm moving slow. We're on the bottom of that weekly imbalance. So now we came back inside it. We bounced first once, get 4 drives here or whatever. We push up. 1 to 1.5 starts to accumulate, retraces back. Where? To the tick right there. Back to that weekly imbalance. See the little switch right there? So there it is right there. Very simple support resistance. Understanding? And I was actually trying to sell this into here, into the first imbalance so I could buy because I wanted to attack this breakout level. But there's 2 situations that will happen. Either it's going to go in there or it's not. And it did not. I said, oh, fuck. It's not coming back. So this sell didn't work out for me. And again, I was only trying to just come back here to be a buyer. And it was a little greedy, but why? Because they have to encourage the guy who pushed buy here. They got to encourage him to stay in the trade and put the money in and be involved. So that's just what it is. But I was just trying to get a little deeper to the 50%, maybe of the opening range gap. That was my logic at the time, but that failed. So guess what? Then it came back. So we rated. I took a couple losses, but we rated this guy here, and then this became an equal low, which was perfect because if it's an equal low, it's going to run away from it, which is fine. And then if you look at this upper quadrant here of the opening range gap, that's the top 25%. Everything is sitting in that. But where did we get the hint from? I knew it was bad because when I tried to take this sell, it bounced right on that first 25%, and obviously the bearish weekly, and it didn't go any lower. And I was like, I needed to dip in, and it did not. It's fine. But guess what? It's also in this last down candle. It's this support block here. It's the whole 9 yards, right? They don't touch that first imbalance. That's even better if you're bullish. You don't want to see it. So, okay, they tag it. They come back up. Now they're coming back in. And guess what's coupled? The current week gap, the top 25%. Look at most of the price action. So you have that 25% nested with the opening range gap 25% nested. And what's over here? We also have that old gap that I was talking about here, which is highlighted here, which is this 4. See this? See these guys right here? These 4 quads right here? It's sitting right here on the 1 minute. You see this? Just right here. Where's the 50? Look at the 50. The 50 is in that upper quadrant. We're also tagging that. See that? Look at that. Look at that. All right. So that 50 plus that top 25 plus the opening range gap 25 plus the bottom of the weekly, which is they're all in the same fucking area. If you have nothing on your chart, what was happening here? That support block, that breakout level, this push down, it's just a higher lows now, bull flag, whatever. What am I doing here? Well, I missed the buy here, but now that they've pushed up and they've retraced back and they're not coming in here, if they're not coming in here, then we're buying from here. What's the agenda? We haven't made a new high yet. And I get it very clear that I'm highlighting this. All right. And then this is called time distortion. All this is just wasting your time and making you tired. Why? Well, we pushed up, we retraced by 10 o'clock. That 4-hour candle changed directions. And by the way, that it also sealed the previous 4-hour candle, which is all this mess here. Anyway, we push up, then taking a buy here to take out the next high. But I'm going to squeeze it out because it could take forever and it might not hit it. I don't care. All I know is that we're coming up. We have the structure already in. We came this high. Where if we're selling, we should be down here. No, we're coming up. So if that's the case, this is how I get involved. Beautiful target. Come up here. I'm trying to get to the liquidity, get to the new high. I squeeze out. I get stopped out. What happens? I already took it out right here. I'm squeezing it out right here. What does it do? It retraces back. Where? Breakout level. Same story here is happening fucking right here. It's another phase of a buy model because we already had the sell model here when we already rated that. Up here is the buy model where we're going to come down. As you can see, you have the low risk sell here. You have an accumulation 1, accumulation 2, usually the biggest leg, little miniature third, shunts. Same story here. This is low risk buy. You have accumulation 1 here. You have accumulation 2. You have a third one here. Or you can just call this 1 and call this 2. But noticing if nothing was on the chart, this is support. That's a support. So they didn't retrace deep. I said, I know my target is still going to be involved. Where am I highlighting this? Now I'm very fucking clear about what I'm doing here. Remember, this is red. I don't need it to come here. Yes, I want it to come there, but it hasn't gone there yet. But what do I got right there? That's the 50 of that 4-hour imbalance. Right? So we tapped in first. Now we're coming into the 50% and then probably seal it. So I'm highlighting this here. I've already took the trade from here to here and got out. Okay. Now it retraced back. We raid these two guys. Beautiful. We come in. That's a breakout level right here. All right. Because the guy, when the price is still popping up, about this point here, he's pushing buy because now you shouldn't be above this high if it's selling, it shouldn't become above this high or above this high. Look to the right. Why do you think we come in over here? Oh, top of the gap. See this, the gray gap in the background, which is this quad right here. See that? The top of it, miss it by 2 points, maybe. Okay? And this is why I'm buying here to do what? Now I want to gun for this high. Look at where the high is. I put it on my circle, green circle on the bottom. And then the top of it is the 50% of this 4-hour imbalance plus the 25%. Now I have the 2 to 2.5 right here. You can see I'm measuring the candle itself and then 2 to 2.5 right there. And then also again, the 2 to 2.5 over here. Remember that, don't forget that. The Asia range too, with the Asia range box here, you can see we dip below it and then we do come above it. We hit to one positive standard deviation there. Retrace back in, and then we end up coming for the second one in the PM. But I'm jumping ahead real quick. The point of this here is because I am still taking the drives up to get my goal. But notice how I'm taking the profit out and then it's retracing back. This is the only thing I'm interested in. So I take a buy right here. Boom, pushes it up. This is one contract. Look at all the trade. Look at the trades that I'm taking and being specific with. Then we come up here, we're getting real close to that right there. Notice how we don't hit it. Guess what? I don't fucking care because I know what we're doing. We're going to squeeze up. I'm going to squeeze up. They take me out. They take me out. I'm already done. It's 1 o'clock. And now I'm getting back into the conversation of time because we retrace deep and it's already 10 o'clock here. It's so early. Then we're traveling up the rest of the day into London close. London close goes a little sideways. And then guess what? We don't get the pullback. So if there's no pullback, then it's going to continue. Well, fucked around in London close, but then it's going to continue for lunch. That's why I take that buy. This one. Because we're continuing into lunch. It's 11. Now it's 11:30, whatever the time is. 11:32, 3, 4, whatever it is here. And if we're buying, we're going to continue holding this into lunch. Well, I already got out. Then it retraced back. We didn't come lower. What is lunch doing? It's just retracing back, trying to get the people who are buying here. Very obvious level there. You could even use this inversion here if I dragged it out. Just trust me, I didn't even have to. I understand what this is. And then what? For the new little final leg up, right? We get up there and then watch this. I don't care if I get squeezed out. Just to be petty. Just to show you I'm not stubborn and not petty, but just to show you I'm very precise, buddy. Very precise. That, remember, this high never got hit right there when I got squeezed out. Never hit right there. See that? See that? What does it do? It retraces one, two, three, four, 5 candles, and then it pops up. I get in right there. Where's that? Oh, fucking breakout level. That's where I got stopped out at. Oh, that's a breakout level. Same story. Why? This is the last accumulation to raid now this high, the one that they did here, okay? And we're getting into now that area that I've been talking about. And I got my goal. Look at that. This last little piece. People don't even make $500 in a day, let alone this one trade at 800 or whatever. And it's just a one contract, right? But this lodge, this is sniper and shit. What do? We get this big push up. And I'm squeezing that bitch. I don't care. I don't care. And look. I've been having that the whole time there, buddy, right? Guess what? Well, let's go into in present time. And boom, baby. You see that? We get up there. I screenshot it right there. We still didn't hit this bitch. And what did it do? Well, look what time it is now. It's 1 o'clock. That's why I was understanding from the time here of the London close, that's 11. We're talking about in the 11 o'clock hour. I'm already knowing that we're going to continue in through lunch and through 1 o'clock. All right, but I'm still taking the trade. Now, why I didn't leave the desk yet, because I'm trying to get to what my goal was because I know we're coming here. We get it here. Now I'm done. What does it do? It retraces back. Where? For a breakout level, which is now here. Look at this imbalance. The guy is a lower low, it's a lower high. It's a low, and it starts to push up. He's pushing buy right here. That's why we're retracing back for it. I didn't even have to draw it. Okay? And then guess what? You get the first imbalance for the PM session right here. Boom. Little wick dirty comes out of it. Look at the body still staying there. Notice how we haven't hit the motherfucking 25% yet. That's still in the play, and I know I'm circling it from over here. Okay? And let's take a look. Then you see us use that first imbalance on the PM session. Last down candle inside the wick of that 150. The little wick right there, it's a rejection wick right there. We tap right into the open, which is this low. They did it really dirty right there. But you can see how it ended up panning out still. They ended up bouncing on that 50% right there with that 212. Boom, pushes through. We hit that, baby. That 25%. Then it wants to fucking keep going up. Now, above here of this 25%, I also had a target I see the levels here on this. See this gap right here? See this gap from May 28th right here? That daily gap? That was also a target. Remember, we just sealed because there was a breakout level, right? Imbalance is created because of a breakout level, and we came to snag that, right? Above that, you have that daily gap, and above that, you have this imbalance. And I'm not drawing that. I didn't do that. What else do you have in between here? Well, you have the 25% and the 50, okay? And then if you look on the 15-minute chart, you'll see you also have that there. The second standard deviation above, and then look at this with the body on the projection on the 15-minute. Here's 3.5. Where are we? Not too far away, right? But then they decided to birdie up the rest of the day. Obviously, I'm not interested, and it was agonizing to even try to catch some of these. But I knew this flow was already apparent as you see the trades I took specifically of where we're going. After that, I don't give a fuck where it goes. Again, I'm already done here, because it's now 1 o'clock and I'm really exhausted. I want to have lunch, but I'm not playing around with the PM session. Even though I did see this, I was like, it's going to buy. And then, even if it hit my target and, you held it for 3 drives, like, I'm not trying to fuck around with that. So super fire, and 34 minutes. Fuck me, but it's the new month and dollar is just coming down. This is also helping in the conversation because dollar didn't keep going up here. So that didn't push us down. We're still bullish, and this is coming down. So no problem. I wasn't stubborn with it. I was flexible, even when I was wrong here. Just so you know, even when I was wrong here, um, not buying it here, that was my mistake. And then not buying it here, that was my mistake. But even when I tried to sell this, I was okay with being bullish, but I wanted to sell down into because to me, it was just too easy. And then it didn't dip in. And then I was wrong here. And I was like, don't get married to that. This is a buy. So boom, I get involved in that buy, right? So being flexible, understanding the majority of the skill is as where the higher time frame draw obviously is going to be. But let me get back into this here, and then you can see another reason why the sell was very eminent. It was because we had a lower high here with Dow, and then we had higher highs with S&P and Nas. And then but when I made a mistake at 9:30, we had a higher low with S&P and Nas, and we had a lower low with Dow right there. So that's where I was mad why I didn't push the buy. But when I recognized this next sell, when we had a lower high here, I get involved in the sell. Then I make a mistake and not buy this, which is completely fine, dude. It's all good, right? But you have a lower low here, clear with Dow. And then you have higher lows here. But at the time, I just wasn't really focused, and I was too busy trying to see if it was going to dip down even lower. But they did not. So I missed the buy. But then guess what? We get this higher low with Nas. I take that buy right here. I took this buy from here to here and squeezed it up. We had a higher low right there. We had lower lows here with S&P and Dow. This, I tried to take that sell, not because of the divergence, but I was trying to hold on to it to get it, and it didn't pan out because we had a divergence here with a higher high with S&P. But no big deal. Then you had another lower low with Nas right here, and then higher lows here. And then that was for me getting that little finale to push off. And fucking beautiful, buddy. And let's see here. And that's a nice response for being bullish. So it's pushing up here. Again, just a retracement. Getting a little sloppy. And to be honest with you, I mean, I have no expectations for June. My vacation is coming on the 13th. I'll be gone for like 10 days or something stupid. And so I'm not this summer, not really holding much to it. But again, I think we're still bullish here, and no reason to be selling still at the moment. And we retraced, and yeah, Dow. This is Dow, so they have no body here. So I'm assuming Dow's coming here. They're doing it. They'll do it at the end of the day. No body here, and then there's a breakout level. So we'll want to see Dow get to there most likely, and then S&P. Well, looks a little dirty. There, not much objectives to the left of the chart besides obviously the past week's high. And then these three guys right here, which is what Nas already did, by the way. So I think they're just late to the party. And this is a good response for bullish. I mean, but we'll see. Because let me tell you something. With NFP this week, today and tomorrow are going to be the best trading days. Generally speaking, and then post NFP, but a lot can happen here. It's still alarming with these liquidity here and the gaps, and this is a breakout level as well. So we'll see. They got plenty of breakout levels right there, right there, right there. So we don't know what's going to happen, but at the moment, I'm just going to keep saying it's going up. They're going to maybe use NFP to reach up there for maybe even all-time highs. I don't expect that all this week or anything, but I'm just talking. So that's S&P, and then with us, as you see, they're getting into this refined 1 hour right there, and again, you have the 9 o'clock push off, and then it comes all the way back. The 10 o'clock 1 hour candle then creates that fake move, but I'm catching that move from up to down. Higher high to higher low. So from here, just wasn't sure what they were going to kind of do, but sure enough, stick to the bias of buying. 10 o'clock closes as a very nice bullish candle. That's why I was okay with buying all these. Look at 11 o'clock, also just a dip and a push up. All bullish candles. Very, very signifying bullish strength. These down candles, the week. What was I going to say? Nothing. We just came into the previous weeks, previous day, Friday, wick, and all that. But and the gap right there, nicely. And I feel like I'm missing something here. Nvidia also a little interesting because Nvidia was down here, and then us pushing up, that shows strength. But the price action is really ugly. But at the same time, this is a high, this is a retracement. Now high or low. Pushing up, high, a retracement. Now I'm making a higher low. So if they're gonna make it easy, I'm gonna follow it easy. And then now from higher low to higher high, this is the logic of where we are. You want to see it maybe obviously still push up, but if we break below and we're using these as resistance, like for example this bearish imbalance, or we use this as an inversion, this bullish, then we'll get a bigger retracement down to these breakout levels or not. I don't know. Even with us, it's like do they want to come and do that, especially like in this area here, right? Again, we want to see that in the first 2 weeks of June. We do want to see selling off, right? So right now we're still bullish. I'm gonna draw it, but again with this week in NFP, don't need to know what's gonna happen right here. But in general, I'd like to just see it keep going up, obviously. So keep pushing up. And then make all-time highs, just keeping it simple. That's in the bullish scenario. If we're bullish and we need to come back again, who knows? Maybe something like this, and then we just push straight up. And this is the bullish understanding. Being bearish from here, I don't, it's very possible that this is a balanced price range and we don't knock past this area. But we would, you would have to like see this thing sell off. Like for real. You'd have to see it. It's very awkward. You'd have to see it sell off. So I don't know. The 4 hour here looks like it's got some rooms. It was a little difficult seeing it trying to shift from there. Stop, man. Damn. Oh, I'll have to hover it here. See, the 4 hour, it didn't reach an oversold, but it was fine. Didn't have to. But if that means, obviously for bullish, we're gonna keep pushing up. But so yeah, that was that could have messed you up if you were really following that, trying to sell it more, like at 9:30 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is super fire, man. Very very smooth, keeping it simple, and we're in the 3.5 to 4 now during this conversation of the. Oh yeah, so we got a 3.5 to 4 here from the projection of this down candle right here. 3.5 to 4, beautiful, buddy. And then from this 15-minute, you got the 3.5 to 4 there, but looks like it fell short of it. But hey, not too far off. So yeah, did I talk too much? Yeah, I did. So 42 fucking minutes, dude. Damn. So I mean, it is a little bit suspect, this right here. It's just a little bit suspect. It is. I feel like they could tag in here and push the price down, but I already drew the option, so there's nothing really to talk about. But again, if they didn't shift above this swings high right here and then retrace back and come to the 50 here and fucking already get into the algo flow up, like I wouldn't, and the structure, and it already pushed up for a new high, I wouldn't have been able to be successful in this manner today. But they laid it out for me. You know what I mean? Because at first I was, what are they going to do? You know what I mean? But again, I did look at this as a higher low, higher high, higher low, and where's the higher high? Nice response on Friday. That was kind of the giveaway there. So yeah, man, super fire, dude. And all right, you guys take care and God bless.